Cheap mirrorless cameras are a great way to get into photography. You don't always have to buy the latest and best cameras on the market. An entry-level mirrorless cameras has all the manual controls you need to learn about photography and capture great images. And if you're prepared to choose an older model over a newer one or shop amongst cameras that have been on the market a couple of years, you can bag some great bargains. So today in this video, I will be introducing some of the best budget mirrorless cameras. Therefore, make sure to watch this video till the end, and for more information, check out the links about the price in the description. And if you're new to this channel, like, comment and subscribe. The Olympus OMDE M10 Mark IV's predecessor, the Mark III, was a great camera with plenty to offer. However, its aging 16 megapixel sensor and contrast AF left room for improvement. Luckily, the Mark IV is a great update with the same 20.3 megapixel sensor as the PEN F and improved continuous autofocus. While some improvements are incremental, the Mark IV brings some interesting new offerings to the table, including a zippy 15 frames per second continuous burst mode. We're also a fan of the extra tiltable screen, which is capable of flipping 180 down to create the perfect selfie screen. And Olympus has thankfully returned silent shooting to manual mode. To save some more money, look out for deals on these cameras' predecessor, the Olympus OMDE M10 Mark III. And if you hunt around, you might find some real bargain prices on the older EM10 Mark II. On the surface, this is a modest upgrade over the original Canon EOS M50, but the additions make it worth picking up over its predecessor. These include improved autofocus, along with eye detection in stills and video, along with big booms for video shooters in the form of clean HDMI out, vertical video recording, and the ability to live stream direct to YouTube. While it's an excellent 1080p camera, it is a poor option for 4K, which loses dual pixel AF and suffers a 1.6x crop. However, it packs a lot of other tech into its compact body, including a great 24.1 megapixel sensor, 10 frames per second shooting, and the fact that it has a viewfinder. That is a cute and easy to use camera that's really rather versatile. And do look out for the original EOS M50, which is almost the same as the new model, but cheaper to buy. Olympus specifically targeted setup users with its PEN EPL9, referring to users looking to make their first jump from a smartphone to a proper camera. Accordingly, it's incredibly easy to use, with intuitive controls and helpful guide modes to get the novice users familiar with camera. It does not hurt that it looks pretty snazzy as well, and is light enough to slip into a small bag or even a large jacket pocket. There's no viewfinder, but the screen does tilt up and down, and even flip around for selfie shooting and vlogging. And it comes in a useful kit with Olympus's 14 to 42mm pancake lenses. Images from the PEN EPL9 look great immediately after you hit the button, making it easy and tempting to share them straight away with the built-in Wi-Fi. If you can't get the EPL9, try the EPL10 instead. They are practically the same camera. Vloggers and creatives more broadly will enjoy the simplicity of the Lumix G7. It makes it easy to capture high quality video and stills with its approachable button layout. Even people uninterested in the technicalities of capturing great looking videos will be able to get results with this camera. There's an inherent risk of dumbing things down too much when creating a camera for social media creatives, but Panasonic has avoided that pitfall with the Lumix G7 by giving it a decent viewfinder and proper camera ergonomics. Panasonic has given the G7 an edge in a highly competitive market. This is a great camera to start with if you are more interested in vlogging than regular photography, or both. It's still a relatively new model, but the price has come down and it looks even better value now than when it was launched. The Sony A6000 was not launched as a cheap mirrorless camera, but as a top-of-the-range APS-C model for serious photographers. Sony's policy right now is to keep older models on sale, however, at prices that just get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. The fact is that for stills photography, the A6000 range has not moved on that far, making the original A6000 a real stud. The A6300, A6500, A6400, A6100, and A6600 have better autofocus, better video, and probably better high ISO image processing. But the fundamental camera has changed little. Unfortunately, getting the A6000 means getting the not very good Sony 16-50 PZ lens too. The Lumix G7 was launched in 2015, so it's few years old now, and that shows in its styling and its spec. It's the ideal choice for mirrorless camera buyers who prefer the heft and gripability of a DSLR style body. And it comes with a viewfinder, which is terrific in a mirrorless camera at this price. The G7 was launched before Panasonic started including in-body stabilization in its cameras, so you are reliant on any optical stabilization in the lenses. It also has a relatively old 16-megapixel micro four thirds sensor, which knocks back the image quality even so slightly compared to its APS-C sensor rivals. Prices vary a lot, so keep your eyes peeled. We have seen some crazy twin lens deals on this camera. The EOS M200 is essentially an evolution of EOS M100, which we have already admitted we don't like very much, but it is still a brand new mirrorless camera that's amongst the 10 cheapest mirrorless cameras you can buy. The key new features compared to the EOS M100 are 4K video and improved autofocus. Now with IAF, the standard kit lens is the 14-45mm retracting zoom, which is a good match for this camera, and compared to the EOS M200 might not appeal to enthusiasts, but its stripped-back, super simple approach could be just the ticket for the smartphone upgraders who just want better pictures. The GX80 uses a 16-megapixel micro four thirds sensor, which sounds a bit weedy compared to the beefier 24-megapixel APS-C sensors used by rivals, but what you lose in sensor size and megapixels, you gain in other areas, notably the built-in electronic viewfinder and body image stabilization, 4K video, and Panasonic's 4K photo mode, where you can capture 8-megapixel images at 30 frames per second or shoot first and focus later using the post-focus mode. We especially like the retracting 12-32mm kit lens usually sold with this camera. Its slim profile makes the camera very pocketable when it's not in use, and while the effective focal range of 24-64mm is not as long as some, it's an ideal lens for travel and street photography. Given the features you get with this camera, current prices are just plain silly. It's another cheap mirrorless camera that's actually rather good. Thank you for being with us till the end of the video. I hope the video was quite useful, so make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Stay tuned and stay blessed.